Hey, what's going on? How you doing? So, by popular demand, for the poll we did, of what what the training we're going to be talking about is overwhelming. How to make 50 grand in 90 days. That sounds like a gimmick, and it is. No, it's not a gimmick. Okay, it's very possible to do this, but you have to work really, really, really hard. So, I want to disabuse you of any kind of notion this is a gimmick. This is some sort of joke, clickbait. No, what I'm gonna tell you will work, but you have to work really, really, really hard. Think about it. $50,000 in 90 days. Okay, it's gonna be hard. There's a lot you have to do. This isn't get rich quick. Well, 90 days is quick. Well, yeah, okay, sure. But 50 grand ain't rich. Okay. And also you have to hustle. Okay, you have to hustle. When I say hustle, I'm not talking about digging septic tanks, back breaking work and all that kind of stuff. I've done that, digging ditches. Did a lot of digging in my day. I'm 6'5", and it's it's hard work. But this what I'm telling you to do, I'm gonna show you what to do right now, is how to network, how to get the infrastructure in place so you can actually make 50 grand in 90 days or more. Okay, substantially. When I say or more money than 50 grand. Okay, and it might take you 180 days if things happen, you're busy and this and that. But you can do this, okay? So listen, so I'm gonna break this up. This is the first. This is gonna be a 3-part series. This is the first one that we're gonna be talking about, and it is. I'm gonna talk about kind of how the plan, and then part 2 will be, and part 3 will be forthcoming. Okay, so the first part is I'm gonna focus in on how you can really make a lot of money is through lot subordination agreements. I've talked about this a lot on my YouTube channel, in my Facebook group. There's a lot of videos I've done on that, and if you want to know more about how that works, you should watch some of those. Or call me, set up a strategy session with me, and I'll walk you through it and see if we can do some business together. Okay, but anyway, so that's the first thing. You can make 50 grand in 90 days through lot subordinations, assigning those contracts to a buyer builder. That's the key with all this, because it's quick. All right, buyer builders, they're looking for, they have cash flow problems like everybody does. And so they can control a piece of land. A lot subordination essentially allows you to control a piece of land with minimal or zero cash. Okay. It's the seller. You tell the seller, look, you're trying to sell your lot for 80 grand. What if we give you 85,000? That's not something you'd be interested in doing, is it? And they're going to go, well, yeah, it's above what I'm asking. And you say, yeah, not tomorrow, but in 8 to 12 months. Okay. And they say, yeah, okay. They subordinate the interest to you. So now you have equitable interest in this piece of land that your buyer builder can now utilize. You're going to sign that contract for 10, 15 grand, whatever it is. So instead of your cash buyer having to come up with 80 grand to tie up that piece of land, and he wants to buy 10 lots, that's almost $1 million. You follow what I'm saying? So now all he's going to pay you is, 10, 15,000 bucks. So he's getting into this, controlling the land that he can build on and get financing to build on for hardly in cash, right? So to come up with 800 grand, he's only having to come up with, 100 grand or something. Do you see the difference? Huge difference, cash flow for the developer. All right, so now we got that straight. That's the approach that I'm going to take you through, how you can get to kind of 50 grand in 90 days. Okay, you understand that? If you don't understand that, hit pause, rewind, and so I'm going to go through this pretty fast. This is how you're going to do it. And if you take good notes and you listen to what I'm telling you to do, you can do this. Okay. If you cheat, you try and cut corners, you try and do something else, it's not going to work. And you go, well, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's good. It is a lot of work. Okay. A lot of work, but you can do it. You just got to be aggressive and you got to do it. So the first thing you want to do is now that you understand that lot subordination agreement, you're going to talk to a seller and you're just going to offer them, a full price plus through a subordination agreement. Okay. So now, with that, okay, that's going to be a whole nother training, on how you find sellers and stuff. I would go for expired listings, but you could do whatever. Okay, assuming you're hustling, you're talking to sellers, up to 5 sellers a day, you're going to get these deals I'm telling you about because you're offering more to the seller. Okay, so this is what you got to do to make this work. Now this is a little bit different. It's not just a cash discount. You got to show the seller, hey, I know what I'm doing. I've got this figured out. Okay, so what this is what really controls this. You've got to know your cost per square foot to build. You follow me? Okay, plus your lot costs in your development. Okay, what I mean by that is driveways, septic tank, or connection, utilities, all that kind of stuff, right? That's going to be a factor into your cost per square foot, and then you got to know what you can sell it for. It costs you $1.20 just to build, and you can sell it for $2.50 square foot, or something that you or your buyer builder can. Then that's good arbitrage. You can make some money, but you have to know what that is, so that when you talk to the seller, you're not just throwing numbers out, okay? Because what you're asking them to do is subordinate their interest in the property to you, and or assigns your partners, buyer builders, right? And then you just want to see that it's working, right? You want to make sure it's working. Okay, so this is how it works. I'm going to show you kind of a spreadsheet what I'm talking about, a little bit more detail. So bear with me here. Okay, so I did a mind map series before on what's involved when you're building a house. It's eligible for a building permit. See this on my map? This is what we have to look at. Okay, you got to get a survey potentially. Probably not if you're doing a Lot Subordination Agreement. You got to look at utilities, power, water, and your waste, natural gas, all that costs. Okay, there's gonna be costs involved for that, and you need to know what that is. Okay, is it a well? Is it community well? Is it community water? Is it connected to municipal water? Right? You see this? And then these costs. Where's for the power, location of transformer, all this kind of stuff. You need to know what these costs are. Okay, and I did a whole series on this. You can rewatch that. Or again, if you want personal help, we get on the call together and do a strategy session and see how we can do this together. All right. So all the stuff you need to know. Okay, your utilities, ingress, egress, where you can put the house at on the lot. It might be a very small lot, so you can't just build it any place. You need to know what building permits involved. And so you're going to have to know all this stuff. So when you present that to the seller, they're good with it, because you're a professional. You're not just saying dumb stuff, right? Because you're asking them to give you control of their $80,000 lot or $50,000 lot or $200,000 lot. So you know what I'm saying? And you can do this by knowing your buyer builder. Okay, so we'll get to it in a minute. Okay, building setbacks. You have to add sidewalks to the building permit. All this kind of stuff. All right. Now, and then once you have this, you can wholesale the deal with the buyer. See that? Okay, so what we care about is cost per square foot. So this is a breakdown that I did just one particular house. Let's just say the square footage is 2,000 square feet. It's on an acre, fine, cool. So it's going to be well and septic. Okay, and listen. This is important to know. See what I'm saying here? The cost per square foot to build is $120 a square foot. Okay, for a stick built house. Okay, now you know that you can sell 2,000 square foot homes. The comps, compare market analysis, we'll talk about. That's for a different video. They're selling for $250 square foot, which means you're selling houses, similar new homes on an acre. They're 2,000 square foot for around 515 grand. Okay, you follow me? See the math here? You can change this, but this is what you want to have. Okay, and this is really going to help you to have something similar to this when you're talking to your seller. Okay, so your buyer builder and investor, they're going to want to be in at 70% of the ARV, just like with a wholesale, just like a fix and flip. Okay, so how does this work? Let's say the lot's 80 grand. Okay, you're going to offer, let's say 70 grand. You're going to offer them, say 80,000 over 8 to 12 months or whatever that is. Okay, so you're going to offer them above retail. Okay, your power, you're going to put your power down. And how do you know what your power is? We'll go back here. Look to the mind map. What's that going to cost you? Location transform, above ground, below ground, all that kind of stuff. It's a high-end comp. You're going to have to put it below ground. Okay, you can't, want a $500,000 home with big power lines going through. It doesn't look, you see what I'm saying? Okay. Septic, your driveway, it's going to be a requirement, plus commensurate with the value of the home. I want, you may go, well, it's cheap. It's costing me 20 grand. Well, then put 20 grand in there. I don't know what that is, but you got to figure that out. Okay. And part of this is knowing what your agent, your real estate agent, is going to tell you what the comps are, right? Your cost for 2,000 square foot house at $120 a square foot, $240. Okay. Well, landscaping, permits, building permit costs, it's kind of a breakdown here. Anyway, once you understand what that is, that the whole project is somebody's going to have to pay. Your buyer builder is going to, it's going to cost them about $371,000 to build. Okay. You follow me? So once they know that, they have that number. Okay. Now it's you can, Mr. Cash buyer builder, I've got a deal for you. Sellers agreed to do this. You could be in this whole deal for 370 grand. Okay. And you can sell for 515. Here's this comparative market analysis showing you this. And I have this, Susie Smith works for Keller Williams. She's very good at new construction. Sells this is her professional opinion. And by the way, she can get this thing probably pre-sold for you. You see how that works now? All right. And it also works when you talk to the seller. Okay. You're going to say, hey, this is my partner, Fred Smith, who's a builder, and we work together. And this is where we're going to be building, And you say, well, I've never built anything before. Okay. You haven't, but has Fred Smith? Oh yeah. He's been doing it for 30 years. Okay. So you're partners with it. Okay. So that's the key to this whole thing. Okay. Your cost per your cost per square foot plus development costs. Okay. And then the arbitrage between that and the ARV, you're going to get from your fair market analysis. And if the numbers aren't there, if it costs you, $1.20 a square foot to build and new construction to sell them for 180 square foot or 150, that's not a deal. Okay. So then don't do it. Okay. Now, what about cost per square foot? You got to get this. You got to get that from your buyer builder. We'll talk about that a little bit more next. Okay. But so that now you understand the concept. If you can connect the dots between finding a buyer builder and show the seller what your buyer builder can do. Okay. And your agent you got a good agent and a good buyer builder. Okay. You can tell the seller we can get this thing sold and you can get your money once the house sells. Okay. So we'll see you in the next video. I'm looking forward to it. And listen, if you want help with this, you want clarification, just schedule an appointment with me. We'll do a strategy session and see how we can do some business. Going to make some money. So talk to you soon and Godspeed.